Yesterday on ESPN's The Jump, Hall of Famer Scottie Pippen stated that he thought that Duke star Zion Williamson should shut it down and end his career early in preparation for the NBA's 2019 draft. The article I'm reading from is written by Scott Gleason of USA Today, and that I will be putting that article in the description box. The article goes on to say that Hall of Famer Scottie Pippen said Duke star Zion Williamson has already proved himself enough at the college level, and that it's in the 18-year-old's best interest to, quote, shut it down, unquote, so he doesn't risk an injury heading into his NBA career. Scottie said, I think he's done enough for college basketball that it's more about him personally now, Pippen said Tuesday as an analyst during a segment on ESPN's The Jump. I think for him as a young player, I would shut it down. I would stop playing because I feel that he could risk a major injury that could really hurt his career. Williamson is averaging 21.2 points and 9.4 rebounds a game for the Blue Devils, who are 14-2. Pippen's hot take comes on the heels of Duke's setback loss to Syracuse, a game that saw fellow freshman star Trey Jones go down with an injury, keeping him out indefinitely. Williamson had a career-best 35 points to go with 10 rebounds in the loss. While the Blue Devils were at one point considered to be national title favorites this season, Pippen felt Williamson had to think more about the big picture and that the athletic forward has already proven himself midway through the 2018-19 season to be worthy of the number one pick in June's NBA draft. Pippen, a six-time NBA champion with the Chicago Bulls, said Williamson is, quote, definitely going to be the number one pick. Because they said mock draft boards either had Williamson or his Duke teammate R.J. Barrett going number one. Tracy McGrady, his co-analyst, said that Barrett might be a better overall player, but that Williamson's unique 6'7", 285-pound frame and highlight reel capabilities make him more exciting and that he'll fill the seats better. All right. The basketball purist in me wants to say that Zion Williamson should continue playing in college and I guess, just fulfill his obligations to Duke. But when you're talking about a guy who could potentially make millions and millions of dollars, I guess be the, quote, next big thing in basketball, you don't risk an injury, a needless injury, playing a college game. So it does make sense, and I guess I agree with Scottie Pippen in that assessment. I guess I do. The one thing that I just have a lot of trouble with Zion Williamson is I'm just not so sure how his game translates to today's NBA. You know what I mean? Like, if this was 15 years ago, I'd be more bullish on him. But it seems like in today's NBA, okay, he's not. Who could we compare him to? I mean, he's almost like a shorter version of Cleveland Cavaliers era Shawn Kemp. Like he's very explosive, very athletic. But in today's league, zone defenses step up in competition. A tremendous step up in competition. I mean, great players can beat the zone, but I look at his jumper, and I don't know, man. I'm not totally sold on this guy yet, man. He's a freakish athlete, but I don't know. I don't know what his game entails. So I'm just not totally sold on Zion Williamson being successful in today's NBA. I just don't know who to compare him to historically. Like, I guess one guy I could compare him to, and he's bigger than this other guy, but for that time period, this guy was huge. The late great Maurice Stokes. Maurice Stokes, I think, was in the 1955 NBA draft. I think he was second overall. He was 6'7", 230, 235. In that era, that was huge. I mean, huge, you know what I'm saying? And his rookie year, he led the NBA in rebounding. His second year, he set a record for total rebounds. Of course, that would be eclipsed later on by people like Bill Russell and Will Chamberlain. And his third year would have been his breakout year, probably. But that's when he suffered that devastating head injury. I think it was the last game of the regular season or the first game of the playoffs? I can't remember. But he suffered a devastating head injury that led to encephalitis and the brain infection and brain swelling. He went into that coma. And then when he came out of coma, he was pretty much not comatose, but he was very incapacitated for the rest of his life. He was taken care of by his teammate, his fellow Cincinnati Royals teammate. Of course, they're now called the Sacramento Kings, but Jack Twyman helped to care for Maurice Stokes for the next, 13 years, I believe, until he passed away from a heart attack at the age of only 36 years old. But those are two guys that come to mind when I look at Zion Williamson. I hope that wasn't a bummer for most people. But I just wonder, what position can he play? 6'7", 285. I mean, can he be a taller Charles Barkley? I don't know. I mean, he's very quick, but I think he's too big to play like a guard position. He's 285. Will he slim down for some reason in the NBA? Maybe get down more to like 250-ish or something. I don't know. I just don't know, man. He has a really odd, unique shape. And the Charles Barkley thing does come to mind. Charles Barkley in college actually was pushing 300 pounds. He was 6 foot, listed as 6'6", really 6'4" 3/4", or 6'4.5", and was actually pushing 300 pounds. And if not over 300 pounds at times. And, he was able to be successful in the NBA. So we'll see, man. We'll see about Zion Williamson. But you guys tell me what you think about him, man. Are you sold on him? Do you think that he will be a bona fide NBA star? Do you see him being the face of the NBA over the next couple of years, as some of these other guys like LeBron James start declining, whatnot? Or do you think that Zion Williamson won't live up to the hype? Tell me what you guys think.